Okay, we're going to start with creating a document in Adobe InDesign. When you open up the software, you'll see this window pop up, and if you've used it before, you'll see your recent documents. This is showing me all my recent documents that I've opened. And you could open one of those, or what I'm going to do is create new. So I'm going to click on Create New, and I get this new document window. And there's a lot of nice categories up here. If you stick with recent, it'll show you the recent things that you created, and you can create one just like what you did. You can save certain documents, or you can just determine I want to make a print document or a web document or a mobile document, and choose a format for one of those. I'm going to go with print, letter size, and so over on the side here, those are the defaults, 8.5 by 11. The units are in inches. The orientation is vertical. I could change any of this. I could change the dimensions, change the units, change the orientation, but going with a prefab format is why I have these, so it's kind of defeating the purpose if I change them. Alright, I can also request a certain number of pages. I'm going to ask for 3 pages today, just to demonstrate something. I'm going to ask for facing pages. I'm going to start with page 1. You could actually ask to start with a different page. Columns, these are invisible organizers of text. You can put as many columns as you want on a page. They will show, but they will not print. So I'm going to choose an odd number of 5. The column gutter, I just kind of leave the way it is. You could make it bigger or smaller. Margins, these are the this is the space at the top, the bottom, the inside, and the outside. Currently they are chained to be the same. So if I move the top margin to 1 inch and then hit the tab key, they would all change to 1 inch. If I want them to be different, I just break the chain and just say that, well, my inside is going to be a 1/2 inch, my outside's 1 inch, my bottom is a 1/2 inch, and there we go. I can make it whatever I want it to be. Bleed and slug. These sound very violent, but the bleed just has to do with how much space are you going to have on your document that goes past the page. And this is important because you're going to, if this document is going to be printed on paper, it's going to be printed on paper that's larger than the end document, and it will be trimmed. And so the bleed just means how far past the trim do you want your design to go. And I highly recommend a bleed of, and it's digital. I would recommend at least 1/8 of an inch, and that's 0.125 inches all the way around. That's 1/8 of an inch all the way around. The slug I don't have to worry about really. And then I'm ready. I'll click Create, and here you go. You can see here the red line represents the bleed. Here's my margin, and notice it's wide on the top and on the outside. It's thin on the bottom and on the inside like I asked for. And you may say, well, I thought you asked for facing pages and this doesn't look centered. That's because this is page 1 of a 3-page document. So I'm looking at the right-hand page, like the first page of a book. If you were open the cover, and this would be page 1, this would be what you would be looking at. If I want to see the other pages, I go up to Window, ask for the Pages menu, and bring that over so you can see it. Here they are. Okay. Here's my Pages menu, and it shows you. I'm looking at page 1. But if I go to double-click here and go to pages 2 and 3, these are the facing pages, and you can see that I have my upper margin and my outside margin is wide, but my inside margin is thin, and this black line represents the fold in the pages. So there's page 2 on the left, page 3 on the right. So anytime that you need a document that has facing pages, it's got to be at least 3 pages long, because page 1 has to be a right-hand page. So if you just need a 2-page layout, your document needs to be 3 pages long. You can ignore page 1 and just put stuff on pages 2 and 3. Okay, and then you can see up here there's a lot of modifiers, and over on the left we have a lot of tools, and in our next video we'll talk about the tools that you can use.